Alright, today we're doing a special tone test. We're doing a clean tone comparison between the neck pickup of a Telecaster here and the position for the inner coil of the neck pickup plus the middle on this Ibanez RG550 Genesis. While no distorted humbucker tones are being showcased in this video, this is coming from the context of primarily using a guitar like this. And so I'm testing just the options of how the clean tone sounds if I was going to use something a bit thinner sounding than a full neck humbucker for cleans, versus bringing a whole separate other guitar like a Telecaster to leverage its classic tones with its single coils. So I'm collecting data mostly from myself, but this is just to share some information with you too. Somebody's rubbing the microphone stand, but this is a video just to share my own findings. This video is not sponsored. So let's dive right into the tones. Alright, let's talk about it now. So first of all, I'm using the same clean preset for Neural DSP Archetype Petrucci X, again not sponsored. It's the same preset I made that I've been using for a million years now. You could make changes to your amp or plugin settings for different kinds of tones, but the purpose of this video is to compare. So as such, I used just the same settings for both guitars. Another thing is these guitars provide different playing experiences, but talking about the playability of a Fender versus an Ibanez is out of scope of this video. So of course I love how both these guitars sound. I especially like how the neck pickup on the Tele sounds. It's an appealing tone to me. It's not too thin of a single coil. It does have some nice body to it. Not as thick as a humbucker in the neck position, but not too thin either. I really like it. I especially like when double tracking too, then I think it sounds really good. I'm in general a fan of double tracking cleans. I like doing that for cleans. Also, I just started rhythm guitar. Moving on to the RG here, I do like how the position 4 sounds. So it's the inner coil of the neck pickup plus the middle single coil. That being said, I never use this setting for noodling or practice. I never use it just on its own. For that, I'll switch to the neck pickup there. I think this sounds really good in a mix with other instruments, you know, with drums, with the bass, other stuff. That's where this really shines, because on its own it sounds like something is missing a little bit, but when you put it into context, it's not stepping on the toes of other instruments. It all makes sense. You can hear it just fine, but it's not too shrill. This leads me to the results of this test, and I wasn't surprised that I liked the Ibanez, the RG550 here in position 4. Because I discovered I liked that when I was doing some other demo song arrangement, and I decided, hey, let's try this pickup position on an RG550 Genesis. I used my Road Flare red one. And ever since then, I've had that in my back pocket, like, hey, this is a nice tone to use every now and then. It stands out well enough in the mix, and it works with my existing presets. I love writing, arranging, and putting together songs, so that makes this really appealing to me. That plus being a huge Ibanez fan means this will probably be my go-to clean tone in a mix moving forward. Of course, context is everything. What you pick has to serve the song, I believe. But all the same, I thought this sounded pretty good. That being said though, I do like the cleans on the Tele just as much as I did before this test. It's somewhere between a full humbucker clean and the position 4 clean. It's right in between those two for me. Of course, on one hand, using the RG more means I'd be using the Tele less. But that being said, I am in the process of finalizing some songs as a part of a release that were solely recorded with the Tele, so it does depend on the song. To answer the question posed by this video, should you take a whole different guitar for clean tones to like a live event? Should you switch guitars when you're streaming music or just playing? Should you switch guitars in a recording session? For me, the answer is probably not. This has demonstrated that using a different pickup setting than what I'd normally use, like the bridge pickup for a distorted setting, then switching to position 4 for cleans, I could do that. I wouldn't need to switch guitars. Naturally though, this is music. Music is an art form. Art can be considered a subjective thing. And following that, the answer to this question might be different for you. And that's okay. If you prefer the tones of one thing to another, that's perfectly fine. It's your enjoyment that counts, of course. Maybe you prefer the tones of the Tele more. Again, I don't think it sounds bad. I think it sounds great. It's also possible you're looking at this from the other point of view where the Tele is your main and you're considering, oh, would the position 4 cleans on the Ibanez, would that suit my needs? This is a more focused test, so it was only comparing one pickup position on each guitar. Hopefully this was informative for you. I have full reviewed the Ibanez RG550 Genesis on the channel. You could look for that. I've done a full in-depth tone test there with cleans and distorted tones. Maybe I'll review the Tele someday. But hey, to answer the question, which guitar would I pick? You know, the safe answer is, oh, I'd pick both of them. It'd be song dependent. And I think that's true. Of course, this is the internet. You have to pick one or the other. So to be decisive and answer the question, I would pick the Ibanez. I think that's pretty clear from what I've been saying. Now, follow-up tests. There's some follow-up stuff that can be done here. This was a fairly focused look at just the clean tone on one pickup position for each guitar. And to that end, I've met the goal of this test. I'm usually recording with a guitar like the RG550 here, but to follow up, I would compare more pickup positions, maybe positions that I don't use as often. Maybe I would test out the middle pickup on the RG. Maybe I would try out the middle position of the Tele versus position 4. Heck, maybe I'd even do the neck pickup position of the RG versus the neck on the Tele. There's all kinds of combinations and permutations that can be done here. You could even say that the order in which you present each guitar matters. If you're used to hearing one, the other one naturally will sound different. You could be used to a brighter tone than if you play something less bright, even if on its own it doesn't sound dark or muddy. Compared to something really bright, it might sound too dark. And finally, another test I would do is I would add vocals to the full mix to see how that sits with these guitar tones. Do you think that'd be too much going on for a tone test? Would vocals be too distracting? I don't know. Maybe I'll try it again someday. But the reason I didn't jam all these comparisons into this video was just to be more focused, to answer one specific question I had, to do one test I wanted to find the answers to, and to share it with you guys. But what do you think? Did you like one guitar over the other? What's your go-to clean tone? Be sure to comment down below. Of course, this is YouTube, so I have to say the YouTube things. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video, print out every frame, and mail it. If you're looking for something cool to listen to, I'm on all major streaming services, Hi-Z Productions. And as always, peace.